Hey, this is Jason with AIReviewers.com, and today we're going to be reviewing something a little bit different. This is billed as the Rolls-Royce of AI content generation platforms. This is a brand new platform. It's called contentatscale.ai, and this is a tool that allows you to create content at scale that is extremely high quality. The content produced by this platform is going to be equal or better in quality than the vast majority of writers that you're going to find on various freelance websites. It's capable of producing more than 2,000 words of content in just a few minutes. And one of the unique selling points about Content at Scale's platform is the fact that they bill it as AI-powered content that is not able to be detected by AI detectors. So today we're going to begin testing this tool out. We're going to run some content through it for 4 different niches. And if this is the first of these types of videos that you're seeing on our channel, I wanted to mention that we have sample inputs that we use across all tools that we review. And we do this so that we can objectively evaluate the type of content that each of these platforms is capable of producing. So as I mentioned, this is billed as the Rolls-Royce of AI content generation platforms. It's priced accordingly. The pricing of this tool is a lot higher than what you typically see with these types of tools, but we were able to work out a discount for you guys. We're including a link in the description below to a special promo offer that will give you 20% of additional content credits with the platform for free. Also, be sure to watch the video all the way to the end because we will be testing this output today with a brand new plagiarism and AI detection tool that we've really been impressed with. This tool is brand new. It was just launched a few weeks ago. It is still in beta, but our results so far have been phenomenal. It's able to detect with extremely high accuracy content that is created by AI tools. So we are going to run the output that we generate through that tool at the end of this video. So we're going to see how content produced by this tool stacks up. So without further ado, let's hop on over to the platform. We've gone ahead and set up a project. The content that we're generating today is for the gardening niche. So I went ahead and created a project and generated first article. So I'm going to go ahead and read through this article with you now and provide some comments, some feedback based on what we read. And then as I mentioned at the end, we'll run it through the AI content detector. First of all, you can see this is a really well-rounded AI tool. Not only does it create the content, but it also includes some optimization. You'll see the status of this article is pending optimization. So it remains in this status until you go through and manually optimize it based on the recommendations that the tool gives you. But we're going to leave everything as is. I want to see what this tool is capable of producing automatically without any further optimization. And so without further ado, let's jump right in and read this article. The name of this article is The Beginner's Guide to Succulent Gardening. Get started today. You can see it automatically generates a meta description for you. Start your succulent gardening journey today with this beginner's guide. Learn how to grow, seed, propagate, and care for your succulent garden. That's really good. Also gives you the recommended URL slug. So you can just go right in, upload the post, and it has a recommended slug based on your keyword phrase that you're targeting. You also see that the tool includes a table of contents right at the top of the article, which is a nice touch. We're going to jump right in here. The introductory paragraph reads, if you're looking for an easy and rewarding way to spruce up your garden, succulent gardening is the perfect choice. Succulents come in a wide variety of shapes, sizes, colors, and textures, making them ideal for creating eye-catching displays. With just a few simple steps, anyone can start their own succulent garden with minimal effort. In this guide, we'll explore everything from preparing your soil to selecting hardy or tender plants that are best suited for growing in gardens. Read on to learn more about succulent gardening and get started today. So a good introductory paragraph. Next section, we jump right in. It's an H2. What are succulents? Definition: succulents are plants that store water in their leaves, stems, and roots. They come from arid regions of the world and have adapted to survive with minimal water. The most common types of succulents include cacti, aloe vera, echeveria, agave, kalanchoe, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or not, sedum, and anionium. Types of succulents. Cacti are probably the most recognizable type of succulent due to their spiky shape and thick skin, which helps them retain moisture in dry climates. Aloe vera is a popular medicinal plant with thick leaves filled with gel-like sap used for healing cuts or burns. Echeveria is a genus of flowering succulent plants known for the colorful rosette shapes and vibrant hues ranging from blues to pinks to purples. Agave is another type of succulent characterized by its large rosettes made up of sharp pointed leaves, often found in desert landscapes. Kalanchoe is an evergreen perennial plant native to Madagascar, known for its bright flowers that bloom throughout the year, even during winter months when other plants go dormant. Sedum is an easy-to-grow ground cover featuring small star-shaped flowers on top of fleshy foliage, while oaniums feature striking rosettes composed out of thin branches topped off with clusters, pink or yellow blooms resembling daisies or sunflowers, depending on species grown. Benefits of growing succulents. One major benefit associated with growing succulents is their low maintenance needs compared to other houseplants, as they can thrive without much attention or care, making them ideal for busy gardeners who don't have time for frequent watering schedules or fertilizing routines required by other varieties like ferns or palm trees. Additionally, since many types require little soil depth, they can be planted directly into containers such as hanging baskets, where they will still thrive despite limited space availability, allowing you to create beautiful displays both indoors and outdoors without taking up too much room. Furthermore, because these plants are so hardy that they make great additions should be to any climate, including cold weather areas where temperatures dip below freezing during winter months, giving gardeners more options when it comes to choosing what kind of greenery to add around the home regardless of the season outside. Succulents are a great addition to any garden, providing beauty and low maintenance care. With the right preparation, you can create an ideal environment for your succulent plants to thrive. Let's take a look at how to prepare your garden for planting. Key takeaway. So this is pretty cool. It automatically adds these different highlight sections with quick tips, if you will. This says key takeaway. Succulents are low maintenance plants that come in a variety of shapes and colors, making them ideal for busy gardeners who don't have time to care for more demanding houseplants. Benefits include low maintenance needs, ability to thrive without much attention or care, can be planted directly into containers such as hanging baskets with limited space availability, hardy enough to survive cold climates. So that's pretty cool. Jump right into another H2, preparing your garden for succulent planting. When it comes to preparing your garden for succulent planting, the most important factor is choosing the right location. Succulents prefer sunny spots with well-draining soil and plenty of air circulation. If you're planning on growing succulents in containers, make sure they have drainage holes so that excess water can escape. Soil preparation and fertilization is also an important step when planting succulents. The best soil for succulents should be light and sandy, with a pH between 6.0 and 7.5. If necessary, amend your existing soil by adding sand or peat moss to increase drainage capabilities before planting. Additionally, fertilizing your plants once every 2 weeks during their active growth period will help ensure healthy growth and blooms throughout the season. Watering requirements are another key factor when it comes to caring for succulents. While they do need regular watering during their active growth period, spring through fall, overwatering can lead to root rot or other diseases that can kill them off quickly. To avoid this issue, wait until the top inch of soil is dried out before giving them a deep soak, usually about once per week, depending on weather conditions. Then allow any excess water to drain away completely before refilling the pot or container again. By following the steps outlined in this article, you will be well on your way to creating a beautiful succulent garden. Now let's move on to planting and caring for succulents. And we have another little tip here. Don't let your succulents suffer from thirst. Make sure you give them the right amount of water, soil prep, and fertilization for a happy garden. You can click the tweet, and it's got the hashtag succulent gardening. That's a nice touch. Planting and caring for succulents. Planting succulents is a great way to add color, texture, and interest to your garden. When planting succulents, it's important to choose the right location. Succulents need lots of sunlight and well-draining soil in order to thrive. It's also important to make sure that the area you are planting in has good air circulation so that the plants don't get too hot or cold. Once you've chosen an appropriate location for your succulent garden, it's time to prepare the soil. Make sure that the soil is loose and free from debris before adding any fertilizer or compost. You can add some sand or gravel for better drainage if needed. Watering and fertilizing tips. Watering requirements vary depending on what type of succulent you're growing, but generally speaking, they should be watered deeply once every 2 weeks during their active growth period, spring through fall. During winter months, when temperatures drop below freezing, water less frequently, as this can cause root rot in some species of succulents. As far as fertilizing goes, most types of succulents do not require much additional nutrition beyond what is provided by regular watering with a balanced liquid fertilizer every few weeks during their active growth period, spring through fall. Pruning your succulent plants helps keep them healthy by removing dead leaves or stems which can harbor pests or diseases if left unchecked. To prune properly, use sharp scissors or shears and cut just above where new growth begins at each stem node. This will encourage new shoots from those nodes while keeping your plant looking neat and tidy. Propagation is another way of caring for your succulent plants. It involves taking cuttings from existing plants, which can then be planted into separate containers, allowing them to grow into full-size specimens over time. This method works best with tender varieties such as agaves, aloes, echeverias, etc., but hardy varieties like cacti may also be propagated successfully using similar methods. With proper care and attention, succulents can be a beautiful addition to any garden. Next, let's explore the different types of succulents that are suitable for growing in gardens. Awesome section. Content so far is really mind-blowing. This is really, really high-quality stuff. Here we have another key takeaway. When planting succulents, it's important to choose the right location with lots of sunlight and well-draining soil. Water deeply once every 2 weeks during their active growth period, spring through fall, and fertilize with a balanced liquid fertilizer every few weeks. Prune regularly by cutting just above where new growth begins at each stem node, and propagate cuttings from existing plants for larger specimens over time. Awesome stuff. Also, really love these key takeaway sections. Really breaks up long form content like this. I mean, this article is just over 2,500 words, so this is a very lengthy article, 25 paragraphs, 12 different headings. So these little key takeaway boxes really help to break up the content and make it more readable. The next section is common types of succulents to grow in gardens. Tender succulents are a great choice for gardeners who want to add some color and texture to their outdoor space. Agaves, winter jacaranda, and aloes are all examples of tender succulents that can thrive in warm climates with plenty of sunlight. Agaves come in many shapes and sizes, from the small agave attenuata to the large agave americana. Winter jacaranda is an evergreen shrub with bright purple flowers that bloom during the cooler months. Aloes have thick leaves that store water for times when rainfall is scarce, making them drought-tolerant plants perfect for dry gardens. Hardy succulents also make excellent additions to any garden, as they require little maintenance once established. Cactus varieties such as prickly pear cactus or barrel cactus are well suited for hot, sunny areas where other plants may struggle to survive due to lack of moisture retention in the soil. Portulacas have colorful blooms throughout summertime, while euphorbias provide interesting foliage year-round with their spiky leaves and stems resembling coral branches underwater. Sedums are hardy ground covers which spread quickly over time, providing both beauty and protection against erosion on sloped terrain or along pathways through your garden beds. Succulents are a great way to add color and texture to your garden, but it's important to select the right types for your climate. Now that you know which succulents will work best in your garden, let's look at how to pot and display them. I love the transitions that this tool is adding. The content just reads very human-like. Nice transitions, section to section. Another thing that I'm not seeing is the repetition that you see with a lot of these other long-form AI content generators. You see the same type of content repeated through the various sections. You're not seeing any of that. So this is really, really good stuff. We have another little section here. It says succulents are the perfect addition to any garden. From agaves and winter jacaranda to cacti and sedums, they'll add a splash of color and texture that's sure to brighten up your outdoor space. Hashtag succulent gardening, hashtag green thumb, click to tweet. So this is another cool feature of this tool. It definitely encourages engagement, encourages your readers to share the content that they're reading. The next section is potting and displaying your succulent garden. That is also an H2, choosing the right containers for your plants. When it comes to potting and displaying your succulent garden, choosing the right containers is key. Succulents need a container with good drainage and air circulation in order to thrive. Terracotta pots are ideal as they allow excess water to evaporate quickly, while plastic or ceramic pots can be used if you prefer them aesthetically. If using plastic or ceramic pots, make sure there are holes at the bottom for proper drainage. It's also important to consider size when selecting a container. Choose one that will accommodate your plant's growth without overcrowding them. Decorating with your plants. Once you've chosen the perfect containers for your succulents, it's time to get creative. Consider adding decorative elements such as stones or pebbles around each plant for an eye-catching display. You can also use colorful planters and hanging baskets filled with lush foliage to add texture and color to any space. For those who want something more unique, try creating living walls by attaching small planters of succulents onto wood frames or trellises. This is a great way to bring life into any room. Taking care of your succulent garden doesn't have to be difficult. Just remember these few tips: water regularly, but don't overdo it. Too much moisture can cause root rot, which can kill off entire plants in no time. Make sure that soil drains well so that roots don't become waterlogged. If necessary, mix some sand into potting soil before planting your succulents. Lastly, provide adequate sunlight at least 4 hours per day so that plants stay healthy and vibrant year round. Also, in this section, you can break these individual sections down into nested H3s. Choosing the right containers for your plants can be an H3. Decorating with your plants can also be an H3. So that's an additional thing that you can do to break up this content. We have another key takeaway here. When it comes to succulent gardening, the right containers and proper care are essential. Choose a container with good drainage. Terracotta is ideal. And make sure it's large enough for your plant's growth. Decorate your garden with stones or pebbles, colorful planters, and or living walls. Lastly, water regularly, but don't overdo it. Provide adequate sunlight at least 4 hours per day and ensure soil drains well by mixing in sand if necessary. FAQs in relation to succulent gardening. How do you start a succulent garden? So that's an H3. Starting a succulent garden is easy and rewarding. First, decide on the type of container you want to use. Consider drainage holes and size when selecting your pot or planter. Next, choose a well-draining soil mix specifically for succulents. Add in some sand or gravel for extra drainage if needed. Finally, select the plants you would like to include in your garden and arrange them according to their needs, sunlight and water. Water sparingly, as too much can cause root rot. Enjoy watching your succulent garden grow. The next FAQ: do succulents grow better in pots or in the ground? Succulents are a great choice for gardeners looking to add some color and texture to their outdoor space. Generally, succulents do best when planted in pots or containers. This allows you to control its soil type, moisture levels, and temperature more easily than if they were planted directly into the ground. Additionally, it is easier to move potted succulents around as needed for optimal light exposure or protection from extreme temperatures. If planting succulents directly into the ground, make sure that your soil drains well and provide plenty of sunlight for them to thrive. How do you maintain a succulent garden? Maintaining a succulent garden is relatively easy. Water your plants regularly, but make sure the soil is allowed to dry out between waterings. Succulents prefer bright light and warm temperatures, so place them in an area that gets plenty of sunlight. Feed your succulents with a balanced fertilizer once every month or two during their growing season. Prune away any dead leaves or stems as needed to keep the plant healthy and looking its best. Lastly, be mindful of pests such as mealybugs and spider mites, which can damage your succulents if left unchecked. With these tips in mind, you'll have a thriving succulent garden in no time. Where should I put my succulent garden? When deciding where to put your succulent garden, consider the amount of sunlight it will receive. Succulents need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day for optimal growth and health. If you don't have a spot in your yard that gets this much sun, try placing them on a windowsill or balcony. Make sure they are not exposed to extreme temperatures or too much wind, as this can cause damage. Additionally, choose an area with well-draining soil and good air circulation so the plants can thrive. With proper care and maintenance, you'll be able to enjoy your succulent garden for years to come. Conclusion: succulent gardening is a rewarding and enjoyable hobby that can be enjoyed by all. With the right preparation, knowledge, and care, you can create an amazing succulent garden of your own. Whether you are just starting out or have been growing succulents for years, there is always something new to learn about this unique type of gardening. So don't hesitate to get started on your journey into the world of succulent gardening today. If you're looking for an easy and rewarding way to bring life into your home or garden, succulent gardening is the perfect solution. With simple tips, tutorials, and advice from our blog, you can start growing beautiful succulents in no time. From selecting the right soil mix to creating stunning container gardens, we have everything you need to get started on a successful journey of learning how to care for these amazing plants. Join us today as we explore all that this wonderful world of succulent gardening has to offer. Wow, this is definitely the highest quality long-form content we've seen out of an AI tool to date. In just a few minutes, Content at Scale produced this article of just over 2,500 words, extremely high quality. I can't imagine that anybody would be able to read this and identify that it was written by an AI tool. I mean, this comes off as totally human written content. It's extremely impressive. As I mentioned, the price of this tool is definitely higher than other AI writing tools, but I mean, this content is next level for sure. So I'm super curious now to see how this content scores in our AI detection tool that we're going to use. We're going to go ahead and copy the content, jump on over to Originality AI and paste it in. As I mentioned, this is a brand new tool. It's just launched a few weeks ago. It is still in beta, but our results with the tool so far have been phenomenal. This is a 2-in-1 scanner. It takes just a few seconds to scan content. It's going to scan it for AI content detection and also for plagiarism. In our other tests, this tool had no problem at all identifying content that was created by an AI writing tool. So we'll see how this content fares. And Originality AI just finished scanning the content, and wow. AI detection score of 82% original, only 18% AI. Out of all the tools that we've tested thus far, this is the best score by far out of any tool that we've tested. So definitely lives up to the hype. In terms of plagiarism, good plagiarism score, only 2%. This tool also gives you a list of the hits that the tool picked up for possible plagiarism. When you click the view button, it'll show you the content from this page, and it will highlight the content that was picked up as possible plagiarism. So you can then go back to the original article and edit those sections. You can then rescan your content after you make the edits to make sure that this is reduced to a score of 0%. So I'm definitely super, super impressed with this first test of Content at Scale's AI writing tool. It's definitely a pricey solution, but if you want something that's relatively hands-free and produces very well-written long-form content, this is the best tool that I've seen thus far for accomplishing that. Of course, what everybody needs to decide for themselves is whether or not the cost is worth it for them or not. So that does it for our very first test of Content at Scale's output. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it was helpful for you, please give us a like by clicking the thumbs up button below. Also, if you have any questions at all about Content at Scale or Originality AI, leave those questions in the comments area below. I'll do my best to make sure that you get your questions answered. Also, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the content that Content at Scale produced. Was there anything that jumped out at you as appearing to be written by AI? Was there anything that you think could be improved upon? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the output as well. Also, is there anything that you'd like to see included in these videos going forward? Do you have any feedback that you'd like to share? It's really important to me that these videos are as helpful for you guys as possible. So by providing me with some feedback, that helps me to create better content that's more helpful for you guys going forward. So if you have any feedback at all, I'd really appreciate it if you'd share that in the comments area below. And last but not least, I'm including links to both Originality AI and Content at Scale AI in the video description below. Again, we were able to work out a special deal for you guys on Content at Scale. If you use the special link below, you'll be credited with 20% of additional content credits for free. So definitely check that offer out. And until next time, happy writing.